This Saturday, 15th February 2025, I'm going to start a new 15 class course named Instant Predictions course. Now, what is this instant prediction? Instant prediction, you see, I always wondered why anyone who knows astrology should not take much time to predict on a horoscope. There are many people who practice astrology like person comes to you, they give their birth detail and you have to predict outright. Can this be done? Absolutely, this can be done. There are many simple but infallible formulas using which one can quickly start predicting on the horoscopes, and the predictions will also be astonishingly correct. Such formulas I am going to teach in this instant predictions course. 15 classes will be there, which will cover predictive principles related to all 12 houses of the horoscope, starting from the ascendant all up to 12th house, including all the houses. And there will be special classes on how to particularly predict main events, major things related to female horoscopy, related to Dasha. And to make this course very suitable for beginners as well, I'm adding a complete class, 2.5 hour class on basics as well, so that anyone who wants to start practicing astrology just after the course and is very beginner in astrology can also start with it, right? So the course is primarily intended at making you able to make quick predictions through the horoscope. See, there are many such principles, right? For example, you see ascendant, what we can quickly predict, right? Some basic informations I am going to share, which will be useful to all, I think. Certainly in the course, advanced principles will be there. Advanced principle as in, different planetary setup, right? There will be nothing very, very advanced in the course. Everything is very simple. For an example, you say ascendant. If ascendant is having malefics, there is one sure prediction you can make that people don't like this person. If there are ascendants in horoscope, malefic, sorry, if there is a malefic in ascendant in horoscope, right, or malefic aspecting or malefic situated there, aspect and placement have almost the same result in all of the combinations that I'm going to talk about. Malefic influencing the ascendant, people don't like the native. People are generally jealous of the native. They don't take native as an inspiration, instead take the native as competition. This is one thing, right? Malefic influencing the ascendant, people are jealous, people take you as competition. That is one thing. Second point is when malefics influence the ascendant. In all of these cases, generally, one can have serious health issues, one can have small health issues like cough, cold, etc. But the health of the native is also very, very sensitive. On the other hand, when benefics are influencing the ascendant, person is surely backbiter. They generally talk about people behind people's back. And this thing is as such that if their talk comes out, people generally become, go against them, right? Like benefic, when it is influencing the ascendant, it can be said that it is a type of a person who have a different behavior on your face and different behavior behind you. Certainly, there are many other predictions related to ascendant as well. For example, when sun is influencing the ascendant, one have propensity towards baldness, right? So quick hair fall, early hair fall in life also happens when sun is influencing the ascendant, right? Such principles can be easily deduced, right? So you just quickly check it in the horoscope and you just predict and it becomes astonishingly accurate, right? For example, say second house. When there are malefics influencing the second house, one point of the time or other point of time, see, malefics influencing the second house, first of all, person will have humble beginnings in life. So family setup will not be very good. Family will not be able to support the native much. The exception to this is benefics influencing the malefic in the second house, or Rashi Lord, second house Lord influencing the malefic in the second house. Then this prediction is not true. Right. So such exceptions I am also going to teach in the course, that when the predictions fail or when the prediction does not come out to be true. Also, malefics in the second house makes the person financially dependent on someone else. This can also be this particular way that whatever the person is earning, they are giving their complete earning to someone, mother, wife, child, anyone. And then the person is very much dependent on, like, all the expenditures, etc., that the native is doing, they always do after consulting someone, right? This is generally their close person. These two predictions you can quickly say with respect to malefics in the second house. Sun in the second house will make sure that person at least once in life loses wealth due to government, due to fines, etc., or due to some wrongdoings which the person does not intentionally do, but somehow happens. Third house, you see, when there are benefics in the third house, it is a very good combination. Benefics in the third house, benefics influencing the third house, it is a very good combination for spiritual life, right? Generally, such person is very much interested into spirituality, worship. It is a God-fearing person. On the other hand, when there are malefics influencing the third house, person is very courageous, and many a times the person takes up some task which the person cannot do easily, though he thinks he will be easily able to do it. But generally, the person, you will see, they are struck in such situation where they have taken some work which they think will be easily done, but it is not done, and now is a problem for them. This generally happens. Also, one more thing is there, the condition of third lord, right? If the third lord goes into bad condition, it is very bad for sustenance of marriage. Generally, afflictions to third lord result into unsatisfactory marriage, broken marriages 80% of the time. Fourth house, when you have powerful planets in fourth house, you should understand that this person is having multiple properties, palatial properties, and many sources of comforts this native is having. That is for very, very certain. Instead, one quick principle there is that if there is Saturn in the Kendras, right, from the fourth house, I remember because it is related to mother. When there is Saturn in the Kendras, person is very much attached to the mother. But until and unless the Saturn is bad, yes, Saturn is bad in the Kendras, native is attached to mother, and they also gain much from mother. But Saturn good in Kendras, native is attached to mother, but they do not gain anything from their mother, right? It is more or less a disappointment only. Surprisingly, but true. Also, one thing is there, when there are malefics in the fourth house, you see, person is clever, many a times deceptive. You cannot trust a person having malefics influencing the fourth house. They have something else in their heart and something else in their mouth, as it is called in Hindi, mukh mein ram, bagal mein churi. Such kind of personality the native is. Also, particularly in horoscopes, you see, when the fourth lord goes into a bad condition, sexual or private life experience of the native is not that great. Particularly, initial sexual experiences of the native's life is very troublesome, very problematic. Right? This is generally a combination where it gives some type of molestation, discomfort from own sexuality for quite some time, right? Right from the beginning up to many years, it does give. Fifth house, you see, fifth house, when fifth house is influenced by malefics, it strongly indicates that the person is interested in astrology and such science, such allied sciences, which is related to predictions, etc. Particularly when malefics are influencing the fifth house, it is very good for the person to get initiation, etc. Such people also progress a lot in mantra chanting and all of these things. It is very easy for them to get siddhis. On the other hand, when there are benefics influencing the fifth house, in that particular scenario, you will generally see that the middle age of the person, right, the ages between 25 to 55, is generally quite smooth, and everything is well sorted in the life of the native. You will also see that when there are planets in fourth house or sixth house, one is not able to easily meditate. Generally, the mind of such people does not remain quiet. And, like meditation and things where you have to sit with a quiet mind, they cannot do that. One or the other thought always keeps on ringing in their mind. Generally, these are the people who can talk on some other topic while simultaneously thinking something else in their own minds, right? This is what planets in fifth house does. Planets around the fifth house does in the fourth house and sixth house. Sixth house, you see, if there are malefics in the sixth house, it gives you victory over enemies, competition, struggle, but gives you very malignant disease also. Benefics in the sixth house saves you from the disease, but gives you much enmity. And the more you think about the enmity increases, enemies increase, the number of enemies increase. And it generally keeps the native troubled from enemies because he cannot win over them, but at the same point of time keeps the native disease free also. With respect to seventh house, you see, there is no planet good in the seventh house. But yes, if there are malefics in the seventh house, the person is very good in marriage. The approach, etc., of the native is very good in marriage. However, the native suffers because the spouse is not good. On the other hand, when there are benefics in the seventh house, see, any benefic in the seventh house is problem, right? Mercury is an eunuch. So dissatisfactory marital life it gives. Venus gives very high libidos, also gives a chances of extramarital affair. Jupiter loses directional strength. In that particular scenario, the spouse is not able to complement whatever you are having. Like, the spouse is not able to completely complement you. You always feel a type of distance between yourself and the spouse. Moon, on the other hand, see, moon in the male horoscope gives high libido to the male and also gives a great chances of cheating. Whereas in female horoscope, it can be good. But moon is very peculiar in the seventh house. If the moon is very strong, right? Own Rashi, Mul Trikon, Vargottam, Purnima, Moon, etc. It gives cheating tendencies to the native. On the other hand, when moon is weak, right, close to sun, Tithi is between Krishna, Astami to Shukla, Panchami. In that particular scenario, it gives a diseased spouse as well. Right. Seventh Lord, you see, regarding seventh Lord, one more thing is there. If the seventh Lord is very strong, one does not prosper in their birthplace. One goes to foreign land, only then they prosper. On the other hand, when the seventh Lord is weak, then one may have everything in life, but there is no enjoyment. It's a little bit of difficulty problem is there. Eighth house, very peculiar thing with respect to eighth house is that if you have malefics in the eighth house, there is definitely troubles related to stomach digestion, etc. Malefics in the eighth house also does indicate mental troubles to the native, depression, tension, all of these things native have when there are malefics in the eighth house. On the other hand, when there are benefics in the eighth house, it gives problems related to overthinking. And benefics in the eighth house many times also gives great jealousy to the native. And the native have a tendency of blaming their family members also for all the type of wrongdoings, etc., that have happened in their life. Such people generally blame others for what is happening in their life. Right? Ninth house, you see, ninth house, malefics are influencing the ninth house. Person have never say never type of approach. They always work very hard and they are very much dedicated, devoted towards whatever they wanted to achieve in life. But luck does not support them. And such people become lucky only after the age of 30 to 36, not before that. On the other hand, when benefics are influencing the ninth house, it makes the person quite lucky. But such people, because they are lucky and they are very much dependent on luck, they cannot do things related to hard work, right? So they easily give up. And from luck, they sustain, right? But responsibilities, etc., they cannot fulfill so very easily. Right? Rahu connected to ninth house generally gives at least one affair or relationship, strong relationship with someone who is not of your religion. And generally, involvement, the more deeper there is involvement with such person who is not of your relationship, more problematic it becomes for the native. 10th house is a 10th house, very peculiar is there. 10th house is powerful, 10th lord is powerful. It is told that one is Kuldeepak. That means the native is most prominent in his family. Right? One of the most prominent between his, cousins, siblings, kinsmen, what we call. So strong planets in 10th house does this. If there are malefics in the 10th house, it gives a humble beginning, but person succeeds later on. On the other hand, benefics in the 10th house gives good name, fame, and status. So any planet in 10th house is very good. 11th house, if male planets are there, right? Sun, Mars, Rahu, Saturn. Saturn mildly male-itic. It generally gives, it makes the person quite greedy. It makes the person run behind money. The person have huge wishes and desires and person wants to fulfill it at all costs. Benefic in the 11th house more or less makes the person very ambitionless. The person is very much satisfied and happy with whatever they have. And generally, when you talk to such people, you will be like, this person is not having any target. This person is more or less, okay with their life, right? The fire that is needed for, succeeding in profession, the fire that is needed to succeed in life is entirely missing from their lives, right? 12th house, if there are benefits connected to 12th house, one spends their money into good ways, donations, charity, etc. Whereas when malefics are connected to the 12th house, one can give into bad tendencies such as gambling, etc. Right? You see, these are quick results which I have just told with respect to malefic and benefic planet in different houses primarily. Many small results are there that I have not told. For example, if there is no planet influencing the seventh house, no aspect, no conjunction. In that scenario, particularly in a female horoscope, it does indicate a spouse who does nothing. So generally, the husband of such lady is dependent on the lady itself. The lady have to do the office work, the lady have to do the homework and the works of the home, and the husband will just sit and will just want to enjoy, which is quite problematic. In real life, it is quite problematic, right? The result is not funny, right? It is quite problematic. So these results, you see, these results I have just told with respect to malefic and benefic planets in different houses. Certainly, with different planets in different houses, many other results can be told. Right, the result of sun in all of these houses, moon in all of these houses, Mars in all of these houses, etc., etc. For example, Mars, Ketu, any of that connected to 8th house generally gives problems related to piles, etc. Whereas Rahu gives problem related to stomach. The same scenario, you see, Jupiter, when it is influencing the 5th house, always gives problems related to stomach. Right. So with respect to planets, etc., also many such predictions can be made. For example, you say when Saturn is influencing the 11th house, stability does not come in life before 40-43. Before 40-43, you will see the life of the native is very troubled, no matter how learned or how good family the native is born in. Only after 40-43, the life becomes settled. With respect to ascendant, you see, when malefics are influencing the ascendant, until and unless you cross the natural activation age of the malefic, there is no stability in life. As a thumb rule, you can take that if malefics are influencing the ascendant, nothing significant happens before the age of 35. Before the age of 35, the native can be earning a good amount of money or anything they may be doing, but they are not able to make anything significant in their life before the age of 30 to 35. Only after that, they make a lot of things in life, home property, etc. Before that, they cannot make. So there are many such results with respect to a planet in a house, a planet in this house, another planet in that house, which is very quick, that you can quickly judge, that you can quickly see in a horoscope and quickly make predictions. For example, if someone comes to you for consultation and they are asking with respect to, that sir, can I do stock market or can I do a little bit of gambling, etc., etc. If malefics are influencing the 12th house because the money is to be spent into bad things or because there is a chance of loss, directly say no to the native. The same is the scenario with the malefics influencing the 9th house also. Stock market, gambling, other such things does not suit the native. And if they do such things, they can earn money from it also, depending on the strength of the 2nd and 11th house. But whatever money they earn, they will eventually lose it. They will not be able to have it. They will not be able to make anything out of that money, right? So many such principles are there. Every house, at least related to every house, 25 30, 25 30 35 principles I will teach, right, based on different formula, based on different topics, right? So 7th house, there will be many formulas related to marriage, good marriage, bad marriage, eunuch husband, low sexuality, high sexuality, right, foreign settlement, where one should go, death timings, etc., etc. Many such principles will be taught in the course, which I believe will be highly useful for those people, first of all, who are starting with astrology and who want a comprehensive course, right? So you can start at a beginner level and know how to analyze all the 12 houses. And after the course, you can just start predicting on the horoscope. This will be a very best course for such people. Highly recommended, right? So if you are looking to learn astrology in a proper way, if you want to have precision and accuracy in your predictions and want to make predictions as soon as you get the horoscope, the course is a must recommended course.